What's up? How you doing? You good? We're good. On our plate for this week. Not even Aloy can change the fate of Netflix's Horizon show. Will Lego Horizon Adventures actually come to Xbox? Maybe. ZZZ and First Descendant are finally out. Should you drop your precious? No, I'm sorry. Which should you drop your precious time in? Crazy Taxi's going AAA open world. Get excited. All this and more on season 8, episode 27 of Press X to Start Gamers Digest. Oh my gosh, that's my work email. That's not right. What's up, everyone? I'm your host, CJ, aka Sexy Bad Choices, aka ZZZ is putting one of us to sleep, but the other one is with it. I am joined by
Sean M.F. Ross.
What's the M&F stand for?
A professional could dance to anything.
I used to think that. Oh man, if you want to know what that's about, you're gonna have to join our Discord.
90s hip hop album skits. If you know, you know type shit.
Yes. Oh man, yeah, we Sean and I had a good time last night, but we're not gonna talk about that on here
like that,
because
fuck.
right.
Oh, that's wild.
Right. No Diddy, right? No Diddy. Oh man. All right. Yeah, now you know who we are. Press X to Start Gamers Digest is a video podcast and condenses the most important gaming news from this past week into an hour-long meal just for you. We are live on YouTube every Sunday. Yes, today is Sunday. We made it. When we can make it because life is hard.
But listening to us and throwing dollars at us is easy.
Yes, it is. Don't forget to support us by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and hit the notification bell. If you are listening, we greatly appreciate you leaving us a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, or the podcast service you're currently tuned in on. And if you want, you can join our conversations by going to our Discord at pressx2start.com/Discord. Yeah, do it. Do it now. Do it now. Anyways, with that being said and out the way, let us jump into the gaming news. Number one. This comes to us from Insider Gaming. Netflix Horizon Zero Dawn series has been canned. Per a rumor, I should say. This comes to us by Grant Taylor Hill. Just off the start of this, how you feeling about this, Sean?
It was supposed to go to who? Netflix?
Yeah, Netflix was producing this.
I mean, I guess it's for the best because if the show isn't doing well, Netflix is quick to cancel stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And who knows what type of budget they would have given it. Like, I would have rather go to like an HBO or an Amazon. They will throw the money behind things they believe in.
Yeah.
And they are, I don't know if they're more star for content than Netflix, but
To HBO?
Or Amazon. Yeah, I mean they have their stuff, but
Yeah.
I mean I'd love to see
I would say Amazon's probably more star for content than like HBO.
I would love to see Horizon with the budget of Rings of Power, you know.
Yes. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, and I think just to basically go along with what you're saying, that like Horizon being on Netflix, Netflix's budget behind their stuff was always the issue of, okay, how do you make this post apocalyptic world where you have giant robot dinosaurs? How do you make that work on a budget like, I don't know, insert Netflix movie here? And it's just like, we're gonna get like what CW Flash level CG quality kind of stuff. It's just like that's not gonna be great. But the actual story here is that, and this is a scoop from Rolling Stones. Rolling Stones has learned that two of Umbrella Academy showrunners, Steve Blackman's projects that were in development at Netflix, a Horizon Zero Dawn series and an original series, Orbital, are no longer moving forward. So sources in an HR complaint paint Steve Blackman as a manipulative and chaotic showrunner who fostered a toxic workplace. So it right now this is canceled, but it seems that it's possible that this could be resurrected if they find a showrunner who is not a toxic person and not a chaotic and toxic or manipulative, chaotic and toxic person. So it's kind of still up in the air. The hopes, though, really and truly, is that this kind of stays canned and like they could possibly move it to a different production house like Amazon Prime or
Yeah.
what Amazon, the Amazon platform. So we'll see, but that's where we are right now with this show. Uh, number two, Lego Horizon Zero Dawn releasing on Switch because Sony's targeting family-friendly audience. Xbox included to push hardware limits on PS5. This is on MP first by way of no wait, that's there we go. By oh my gosh, come on. Come on, computer. There we go. There we go. Alex Coe. So this is a weird one. But before I even talk about this is one of the instances where it's better not to say anything to have to come up with a BS excuse like this.
Yeah.
So this is I'm reading from the article. So they kind of give their preamble about Horizon Zero Dawn, this being the first game to come from PlayStation to a competing platform in Nintendo Switch. So this is the first time a PlayStation first party IP is being released on a rival platform. What was Sony's decision behind this? When asked why Lego Horizon Adventures is releasing on Switch, James Windler, narrative director at Guerrilla Games, explained it's due to Sony's desire to bring the Horizon franchise to a broader audience, including a family friendly audience and a younger audience, which is great. That makes sense. It's a Lego game. It works very well with Nintendo Switch audience
Yeah.
and Nintendo Switch fan base, right? Okay, that's well and pretty reasonable. But was what's not is given what? Okay, that's just not right. But what's
Mm.
not given the game's already releasing on a competing platform? Why not release it on Xbox Series X/S as well?
Because
No.
fuck you, Phil Spencer. That's the reason. You don't buy Activision, you bitch. No Lego for you. That's their reason.
Right?
That's their
That's what
reason.
wasn't said.
Hmm.
So Windler was also asked why Lego Horizon Adventures isn't releasing on Xbox. And the answer given was odd, to say the least. As Windler said, right now, we're just very much focused on pushing this hardware to its limits and making this game look as absolutely amazing as it can possibly be on this hardware. And the dev further added, and we really don't have anything to announce about Xbox right now. So this is a very weird, a little bit all over the place quote where, if you take this for face value, they're saying they're trying to push this game to be a graphical, I guess, showpiece. But
Yeah.
it's also coming out on Switch, which is the lowest powered out of the three consoles. So it's like,
Unless it's
if you
coming to Switch
can,
too.
but I mean, even if it does come to Switch too, there,
I don't know. I don't know what
yeah, right,
graphical
yeah, yeah,
prowess we're trying to see in a Lego game, but go off. Go
exactly,
off,
yeah, yeah.
Sophie.
It very much feels like I take this in two ways. It
Mm.
feels like they are trying to play nice with Xbox and say that, no, we don't want to put this on Xbox. And this is our BS reason. Like, this is our BS reason for excluding Xbox.
Yeah.
Or the flip side is we aren't putting this on Xbox right now, and it's possible that they are working an agreement with Xbox to have this be on the platform, but probably not on Game Pass. So this
They
feels kind
don't
of
need a reason. They didn't have to say anything like you said. They don't need a reason. Just
yeah.
We keep
Exactly. Just
coming.
say that we're not going to comment, or like they do it all the time. Just say like we're not going to comment and keep it moving. It's so just like you guys didn't have to answer this. Like you guys put yourself in such a weird place now, especially leaving the quote with we don't really have any announcements about Xbox right now, because that makes it seem like, oh, you will have an announcement about Xbox later on, but that announcement could be it is definitely not coming to Xbox ever. So it's like
Please wait until
where
release day to hear news about the Xbox version. There ain't no Xbox version.
what the fuck? So yeah, it's such a weird thing. But yeah, I mean, it's possible that it could be a thing of we get the sort of like what Xbox is doing with
Mhm.
their games, where we get the game for a year or two and then it comes to Xbox, which I guess
Yeah.
that could sort of fit within this whole quote. But I mean, if they do that, that is kind of like, uh, no, actually, no, that's actually not the same. But yeah, okay. So yeah, weirdness. Number 3. Zenless Zone Zero generates $3.7 million on mobile in 24 hours. How it compares to launches of Genshin Impact and Honkai Star Rail. This
Mhm.
comes to us from Game World Observer. By way of, wait a minute. Ooh, oh, this did a weird thing when
Evgeny
I,
Obedkov.
thank you, because I like
Yeah. No, just
my window just did a weird thing. So thank you for that. And
hmm.
also that name is that would have yeah, so what you guys don't realize that Shauna really came in for the save there. So yes, this is according to App Magic, and this is only mobile numbers. So this is not including PlayStation for Zenless Zone Zero. It's also to note that Zenless Zone Zero did not come to Xbox. So according to App Magic, Zenless Zone Zero has already reached 3.99 million in-app purchase revenue, reduced by platform fees and inclusive taxes on mobile. So on July 4th, launch day, the game generated $3.69 million. So it is important to note that the in-app purchase is the um, two ways. It's how they track that a person is playing the game, because you have to have the game downloaded to do the in-app purchases. But it's also, I believe, including the oh, actually no, I think the pre-order thing was only PlayStation. So I could be wrong about that.
No,
Must
you
be
can
pre-order.
pre-register on it says pre-registrations. You can pre-register and it would automatically install the game on your phone
Okay.
when it came out.
Okay. Yeah. Oh,
And
okay. I see.
that's what
Yeah, I
that
see
is.
what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, China is the number one country by revenue, accounting for 57.6% of the total. The top 5 regions, including Japan, which is at 19.7, the US at 11%, Hong Kong at 2.5%, and Taiwan at 1.8%. So yeah, this is being pulled up by China. So I mean, again, this is a game that is very much so targeting them in terms of how Zone Zone works and the whole format of it. And then Zone Zone had over 47.5 million pre-registrations. And App Magic data shows that the game is now generating 5.9 million downloads on iOS and Android. So yeah, this game is doing gangbusters, but I mean, at the same time, that's pretty much par for the Hoyoverse games. They're
Hmm.
such a big thing, and they do such a great job with marketing their games inside their other games, and just like, hey, look, check this thing out. You take a link, takes you to a YouTube video, you watch the video, and you're just like, oh, this is a new game or whatever. So it's sort of not surprising that it's like this. The question, of course, with these free to play games is how long do these games last for?
Yeah.
But with the opening, I guess, salvo of this many, like 50, almost 50 million pre-registrations, like even if 10%, even if like 15% of that stays, like that's still a good amount of people. So I think this would be a good place just to drop our preview or our impressions
No, no,
of the
we can
game.
wait. We can wait till later.
You want to wait then? Okay,
Yeah.
that
What
works.
what I find crazy is that top grossing is that for the past 24 hours. That graphic because that's crazy.
Yeah, yeah,
They have
yeah,
another one called DNF Duel that's above that made 5 million in 24 hours. But what's bonkers to me is like Roblox and Candy Crush is still doing numbers. Roblox made 3 million, Candy Crush 2.6 million. That's
yeah.
what
That's what Microsoft bought from Activate,
yeah,
or
bought them
yeah,
for.
like
What's
that's
more
why.
puzzling to me is Monopoly Go.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
I don't know if any of our listeners have played Monopoly Go. Like, all right, the other games I can kind of understand because they're actual games.
yeah.
Monopoly Go, you're literally just rolling dice. That's it.
Yes,
That's it.
yeah.
And when you run out of dice, you can pay more money to roll more dice. You're just going around the board. You're not active.
Gambling, man, makes money. Makes
Money
money.
in its fullest retarded or whatever the hell it is.
So
That's
yeah, like Zenless Zone Zero is doing a real good job with um essentially getting their game out there, and we're gonna talk about this versus the next item, which is the First Descendant. We're gonna do that in our what we've been playing section because I think that
yeah.
makes it, as Sean said, it makes more sense doing it there. So number four, this is actually about First Descendant. The First Descendant enjoys big player numbers on Steam despite some microtransaction hell. This comes to us from IGN by way of Wesley Impel. So Nexon's free-to-play looter shooter, The First Descendant, has enjoyed a huge. Oh wait, no, actually, let me jump that to the actual. So this was a weird article from IGN where they kind
Hmm.
of front-loaded a lot of their criticisms, and then at the very end, they have the actual concurrent player count numbers. So The First Descendant hits a Steam concurrent player count of 229,257 players, which was enough to put it in the top 5 most played games on Valve's platform. Um, so yeah, the game also launched on PlayStation and Xbox, but they don't make their player numbers available, so we don't
I'd
know what it's
imagine
doing
it's
very
close
well.
to the same though,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because
or
like
minus at least give or take like 50,000. I can see it being
yeah,
close.
like I will say that last week, just being on YouTube and having the Zenless Zone Zero stuff and First Ascendant um just thrown at me,
Hmm.
they were both doing a very good job of marketing this game before it released, and it was just like, man, okay, I'm excited to play both of these things. Um, the biggest issue with First Ascendant now is essentially the microtransactions. So this article is I'm just grabbing from Forbes. So the First Ascendant has Warframe's worst microtransactions with few of its strength. So this comes to us from Forbes by Paul Tassi. And he does a really good job of breaking down his complaints with First Ascendant comparing to Warframe, which it very much feels that First Descendant is borrowing the bones of Warframe in
And
how it
that's fine.
does its microtransactions. And it's fine. It is fine. Yeah. The only issue in this case is that how much you are being charged for stuff. And it kind of, the way that the system is set up, it is really pushing you to like just spend the money. Like
Or you could
if you
just
want,
not spend the money.
exactly, exactly.
it's
Right. No, no, but
a
what you're
free to
saying is
play
right,
game.
but right, what you're saying is right, but like
Yeah.
so we'll talk about the bullet points and then talk about we'll talk about the bullet points and then probably we'll talk about it in the what we've been playing. So these are all the things that you have to pay for in the game to essentially skip the grinding part or the grinding portion. And some of these you can't really grind for. So paid descendants, just buying the character themselves is $3 to $6 on average. It's giving potentially dozens of hours grinding. Common skins that are nothing but recolors of existing skins. Premium skins that sell often sell hair and makeup separately, and universal skins have to be rebought for each character. So a universal skin would sound like that's a skin that works for every character, but it has to be. I wonder. No, I think he meant alt. No, no, he's talking about ultimate skins after. What is a universal skin? Actually, I gotta check that out. Ultimate skins that can run from $100 and require even more insane level of grinding and RNG to assemble. That's crazy. Paint that does not work on free skins and are one-time use. That is bullshit. Like that blew me so much, and the audience had a whole thing about it, and the devs responded, and I thought the devs responded to, we're gonna make the system work better. Doesn't seem like
Oh,
they
my
did
bad.
that. Right.
They
And then you have
gave people free skins that you had to still spend money to use, or free colors that you
free,
had to
yeah,
spend on premium skins to use.
yeah.
That's hilarious.
It's so like, okay. A battle pass that does not contain any character skins at all. Um, Limited descendant slots, so you have to purchase more to keep expanding your collection without dismissing any. That is also like trash. Like it, yeah.
It sure is trash, but you know what they could do? Not play it or not spend money.
I mean, that's true,
Vote what
and
you
and I,
want.
I
Like,
think I think that's gonna be the real. That's gonna be a sticking point here. Um,
those
the game,
prices aren't for us. Those are for the whales. We will spend little to no money on this game, and they're looking for the people who will spend 300,000 in a week. If anybody remembers that episode where I described that, like, it's not for us. They're not
yeah,
expecting us. They're not expecting us normies to pay that.
but
And if
I
you do,
think
you're a sucker.
I think with all this, the most damning of it is the fact that you have to pay more to expand your collection. Because
Mhm.
even if you are playing the game like free to play,
Yeah.
you will hit that point where you need to spend money to expand your collection to have more descendants, because you will be essentially trying to get those descendants, unless you're just like, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm literally going to play this one thing over and over again, like as you progress. Well, you haven't played the game for that long, shot.
Don't matter. You know how much money I spent on Apex Legends? How long have I been playing that game?
But that's different though. You don't have to pay to expand your slots, or do you?
I
No,
mean,
because
you
you've been
can
playing.
pay for new characters or you can grind to get
Yeah,
them, quote unquote.
yeah,
The
no,
point
but which
is,
is
once you
which
get
is
to that point,
fine.
F that game. Go play something else.
F my
I've gotten
favorite
all
game.
I've got what is your favorite game? I
No,
got
no. I'm just saying, if you're sitting there playing that game, you're just like, oh well, I guess I can't do anything anymore. I'm done.
they sell me in the
Okay.
train like a stripper.
So just to finish off this list, so the game putting build timers on the things you have grinded for, which can be hours to days unless you pay to skip the wait. Then there's paid boosts for XP, gold acquisition, weapon mastery, shard generation, and then paid materials for crafting costs. So essentially, this game, in terms of its microtransactions, has put a price tag on most of the things in the game in terms
Mhm.
of progression. This was the biggest fear to First Ascendant coming from Nexon, because this is pretty much par for course for Nexon games. So this isn't super surprising that they did this. We also was in the beta. That I think at one point the beta was open, so we could kind of see this stuff and see how
Yeah.
things are going to track. So overall, I think this is the most, yeah, this is the most damning part of the First Ascendant. Um, the issue is, well, the saving grace is that this will be probably, hopefully, the worst form of this game, and it will only get better in the future. They will listen to feedback. They seem like they pretty much do listen to feedback. So in this
Mhm.
case, the hope is they listen to feedback, figure out how they can make changes to make this game, work for them, but also work for their customers or their player base. And customer player base, pretty much the same thing if you spend money like that. So we'll see. Like it's going to be up in the air. We're going to talk more about the actual game in our mid playing section. But yes, that's that. Number, no number. Hey, guess what?
Mm.
This is our plug section. If you are listening, we greatly appreciate you leaving us a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube Music, whatever thing you are listening to us on. Leave us a review there. We greatly appreciate it. If you are watching and you're looking at me, look at you directly into your eyes. Hey, this is Hypnosis. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Hit the notification bell. Clap 3 times. Not clap again without your hands.
I don't think we have those type of listeners, and if we do,
You never know.
all right.
Today could be the day. All right. And then of course you can join our Discord at pressxemergency.com/discord. There we have great conversations about everything, essentially, like literally everything. So yeah, join us. Join them. It's fun. We're fun. All right. Number 5. Xify producer says players can move on if they're struggling with bugs.
Hey,
All right. This goes to us for VGC by way of scrolling up. Jordan Miller.
he said you could go and get the hell on you and your mama.
Yeah, no, he's he's pretty much saying it with his chest. So speaking on social media, Mark Rubin explained that Xdefiant is built on an MMO engine, and as such, there has been teething problems as the free-to-play shooter has been released to the public. I'm gonna go ahead and pause right there. Ubisoft, why did you build this free-to-play shooter on an MMO engine? Just pay
What
the money to
MMO do
use
they
Unreal.
have?
That's another thing too. Like, this is Ubisoft. Like, is it?
What?
Is it based off of what was the Tom Clancy? I think you
Division?
guys played it for a little bit. That open world Tom Clancy shooter.
The Division?
No, not the. Is it? No, is it Division? Is Division considered MMO?
Maybe, yeah,
Huh. No, I'm thinking of the Wildlands. Is it Wildlands? Tom Clancy Wildlands?
Okay. I mean,
Is it? I don't know. I mean, that's the only thing that I would think of being. Well, is that even an MMO? Is it just open? Whatever. It also could be this person is using MMO in the wrong context. We don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm going to continue on the article. Responding on Twitter to a user who said he felt the game had been rushed, Ruben said, "What we have is an engine that has ever been
It's
an
using the
MMO."
Snowdrop engine, so it's using the Division engine.
Is Division okay? Interesting. Okay. That's not. Is that an MMO? Or whatever. Okay. Whatever. Okay. And so all the infrastructure for the FPS has had to be built up from the ground floor. Even COD started on id Tech, which was a shooter engine. Apex started on a shooter engine, but for us, we are working on developing all the new tech in an engine that was designed for something else. I'm gonna go ahead and stop you right there, Ruben, and say that's a personal problem. You need to fix your game if it has bugs and people are playing the game.
And don't be upset if it don't succeed.
Like that is such a weird thing. Like obviously, we are all human. We can get
Yeah.
frustrated and we can, we could, talk angrily kind of thing. And to me, this definitely feels like, he's probably a little upset with people just like dogpiling on Xdefiant for his bugs. And it's just like, well, you guys released a buggy game, so you guys have to fix the buggy game. That's on you. That's not on us.
He's using an octagon for a wheel when the wheel is right there, then are mad at people complaining about the bumpy ride from the octagon. Like what?
Right. It's exactly
it's right there.
it.
It works,
And
but
he's like, go take a cab. It's like,
well, once we get up to speed, you won't be able to tell the difference. You didn't need to do this.
That was a perfect like metaphor. Oh my goodness. And yeah, and it's a thing of like, hey, we have a ton of free to play first person shooter. Do not push people away from your shooter. Like, don't tell them to go to somewhere else. Just say, like, hey guys, we're working on the game. We appreciate you being with us and playing this game. And like, we are listening to your feedback. We're working on your feedback. That is easy.
Oh
That
yeah,
is easy. That's 101 mark, like customer service or whatever. Like this, yeah. This is such a weird thing to say when you are a first person shooter, and that is such a competitive market, especially with a new Call of Duty coming out this fall. Like, yeah. So good luck to Xdefiant, and yeah, good luck. Number 6, Like a Dragon Studio says, fans will be surprised by the next game. This comes to us from VGC by way of Jordan Miller again. So, during the Essence of Fandom event at Anime Expo, the company teased that what they're working on next. According to several fans in attendance, the studio said, "We can't tell you what kind of game it is, but I will tell you you'll be surprised." So that's pretty much it for this article. But this is very interesting. The fact that they say we can't tell you what kind of game it is, but you will be surprised. Like, that doesn't seem like they're working on an RPG. Like, that seems like a new genre. That seems like they're doing a change again, right?
I guess.
Do they need to though? Like, I feel like a Dragon. Like, did you like Infinite Wealth? Did it feel like, yeah,
Yeah.
right? So
Where could they go?
yeah, that's so just. I mean, this is cool. This is definitely like stirring the
Unless it's
pot a
gonna be
little bit.
another Judgment game, and they kind of
Um,
flip it some way.
yeah,
I don't know.
because like you have RPG. I mean, I don't think this is possible. This is pure speculation, but like they could go like online, like
It might not.
multiplayer.
It might not even be anything like that. It might just be like a story beat or some new player character or something. It might not even
Yeah,
be like different genre.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah. Because it's definitely going to be the next Like a Dragon title. So
Mhm.
yeah, this is just such an interesting thing. I don't. I think we
They
can
may
sit here and
finally
just like,
kill Kiryu or something. I don't know.
oh, well, hmm, possibly.
Let that
But
man
yeah,
rest.
yeah, we'll see. I just thought this was like really interesting in that like the way that it's worded. Also, is it possible there's a translation thing happening here?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Or does he speak English? I don't know if RGG they speak English or not.
Mm.
Or whatever. We'll see though. We'll definitely see. I still need to play like Dragon Infinite. I'll do it. I'll do it. Um number 7? Yes, number 7. Report more Activision games coming to Xbox Game Pass soon. This comes for us from Kotaku. So the report slash rumor, I guess, because it's not confirmed yet, is that Xbox Game Pass is going to get Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy and Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2. No, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 1 and 2, and the Spyro Reignited Trilogy. So those are the older Activision games that got a remaster that's going to come to Game Pass. I think that's pretty cool. What's your thoughts on that?
I mean, why would it not be coming? I mean, I would assume so.
Yeah, yeah,
They spent
it's the
$6
expectation.
billion. I would assume everything is coming over. We own you now.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I think it's one of those things where like the deal was made, like I guess at this point like a year ago. So it's like, oh, why did it take so long to come here? But it's always great the fact that we're getting maybe okay. So it's possible that we will get this actual confirmation at Gamescom because we know the Xbox is going to be at Gamescom, and they said
Hmm.
that they're going to have a showing for us. So I mean, this could be one of those like, oh, the Game Pass flash or splash screen, and it has these 3 games coming to Game Pass for later this summer, or like, oh, it's out right now kind of thing.
Yeah.
That could be cool. The weird thing though is that I thought the old Call of Duty games were already on Game Pass, but they're
Uh,
not. It's just the Call of Duty Black Ops 6 that's coming to Game Pass.
I mean, it's probably not on there yet.
Yeah, which I thought was weird because I just assumed because I remember seeing the splash screen. I thought that was just already a thing that happened, but it doesn't seem like it happened yet. So
Hmm.
we'll see what happens there. I mean, if they monetize that, that would be pretty good amount of money to make off of those games versus putting it on Game Pass. But
They'll probably do it after.
Black Ops 6,
Yeah. Let me
yeah.
see. Apparently, Phil. No, no, no. I don't know. I don't have word on it.
Yeah.
Thought
So
Phil
this
said something.
next story is pretty much the whole ongoing thing of Game Pass and how successful is Game Pass and all that stuff. So number 8, revenue from Game Pass subscriptions like Xbox Game Pass has barely grown in 2 years, potentially explaining Microsoft's studio closures. This comes to us from Games Radar by way of Concern. So revenue from game subscriptions has reportedly barely increased in the last 2 years in the US, which might help paint a clearer picture around Microsoft's recent studio closures. Video game industry analyst Mike
Let's call him Patusi. Keep going.
Pispatella, there we
Ah,
go,
fine.
took to social media to report that non-mobile video game subscription spending was only up 1% compared to this time last year. Compounding that, subscription spending in April 2023 was only 2% higher than it was in April 2022, meaning revenue generated from PlayStation Plus, EA Plus, Xbox Game Pass, and similar services saw narrow growth. So essentially, what that is saying is that in 2022, it was, I don't know, an amount. And
Yeah.
then 2023, it was only higher by 2% of that amount in 2022. And then in 2024, this year, it is
Yeah.
only up 1% of 2023.
Keep reading.
Yeah. Revenue shouldn't have to balloon annually for an industry to remain healthy. But giant gaming companies have been chasing and investing towards unsustainable growth for years, which makes the above news a little worrisome. Microsoft in particular, oh, you gonna say something?
I was gonna say this is every company.
Yeah. Yeah.
At some point, you have complete market saturation, and everybody who's gonna play your stuff is gonna play it. There is no more exponential growth to be had year over year, unless they're not gonna break into China because that's a hard wall to crack. I think it just
Yeah.
became legal over there a couple
Yep.
years ago. I don't know.
Yep.
Maybe that might be the next big market, but we'll see. I think that's the only market left as far as having a ridiculous amount of money to spend.
Yeah. And for me, this next sentence, Microsoft in particular has gone all out on its Game Pass initiative by launching all of its published games into the service and spending $69 billion to acquire Activision Blizzard. I think, to me, that is the issue with this, in that, like, yes, all these companies chase this unsustainable growth method or model. And yeah, of course, it's unsustainable. It's not going to work forever. But the fact that we have Nintendo, more so PlayStation, not really Nintendo. Nintendo is really, I mean, they have a subscription model,
Mm.
but it's more reliant on spending the money to buy these games. And then, on top of, they don't really go on discount and all that stuff. PlayStation, I think, between Microsoft and Nintendo, has the most like hybrid model approach, where like you can get games from PlayStation Plus, but you can also buy games, you can get discount games on PlayStation Plus as well.
Mm.
And like, it seems to me the most sustainable model is having a more hybrid approach. Like, you can have most of your games being like bought for, $60, $70 or whatever, or you can have the most of your games being on a subscription model. But that just kind of, there's different levels of risk in that. And if you just do the really conservative model that PlayStation is doing, it feels like that sort of makes the most sense. And you can
Hmm.
tell that it's at least working, in that PlayStation is number one now. Their games are doing well. Also, of course, focusing on the games. Like, that's the biggest thing. That is literally what keeps Nintendo being Nintendo, is that when they drop a Nintendo game, it is of quality. And PlayStation pretty much follows that in line. Xbox is starting to do that, but this is a thing that should have been, of course, started from jump, but they've had their own issues. But yeah, just going back to the money, it is very much just like this sucks, but this does not mean the end of Microsoft. This does not mean the end of PlayStation, Nintendo, EA.
Yeah.
It's just where they are right now. They'll bounce back. They will figure out a different method of making money. I mean, it's going to be the same method. They'll just, put different words around it. It's not going to be a subscription model, or maybe it will be, but less focused. Um, so yeah, it's a thing that we talk about a lot, often. Um, my thing is, I hope that Call of Duty does something for Game Pass to the point where this isn't really I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Just make
Mm.
good games. Just make good games. It's easy that way. Uh Number 9. This is the most terrible news. Tales of Kenzara Zhao developer Surgeon Studio is cutting jobs. This comes to us from Game Developer by way of. Do we not have a name here?
Oh,
Oh, look at
keep
that.
going.
No name. All right. So, Surgeon Studio confirmed it laid off over a dozen of its staff. In a statement, it acknowledged the industry's difficult time and said it's prioritizing helping those affected by the reductions. Um, so this sucks. This sucks especially because the CEO, mm, Abu Bakar Salim,
Hmm.
the founder, he went on to, I believe, YouTube, and he had his whole like just not a venting session, but just kind of talking out the problems of essentially being a black creator in this industry and trying to put out a black game and just being hit with the waves and waves of just white racist people, not even white, but just racist people online talking essentially trash out the side of their mouths over this game. And it kind of ended with him being like, you know what, we're gonna put this game on sale, and we really want to show people that we want as many people to play this game as possible. And it kind of felt like, okay, well, this he's venting his issues, but this also feels like a sales pitch in that like it ended with the game's on sale. But this is kind of the industry that we all exist in. So there's not really much you can do about that. Yeah, man, it sucks. It sucks. This sucks to see that they're losing people. Um, yeah. Did you play Tales of Kenzara?
Yeah, I just didn't finish it because
Yeah.
I
Okay.
don't remember why.
Yeah. I played it. I finished it. I thought it was a pretty good game. I think my main issue was the last boss and how that was designed. I thought
Hmm.
that was kind of weird for the overall story, but I still think it is a game worth playing. I think, especially for what it's doing in the industry, like it's almost one of a kind. So it's definitely worth a try. The hope is, the studio is still able to keep afloat with this and still able to make another game and like get another shot
Yeah.
at that. So yeah, yeah. You got anything on this?
Nah, just
Yeah.
it sucks, but I mean, it's par for the course. Past few years.
Yeah, that's true. That's true too. Yeah. All right. That is it for the big stuff. Now for the quick hits. Number 10. PlayStation will exhibit at the Tokyo Game Show in September. This comes to us from Insider Gaming by way of Tom Henderson. So yeah, PlayStation is set to exhibit at Tokyo Game Show this September for the first time since 1919. Jesus, 2019. So this is very quick, but it's kind of like, wait, what do you guys have to show at Tokyo Game Show? Like that's
We'll see.
really interesting. Yeah.
We'll see.
So just a little read in further. Sony Interactive Entertainment SIE is listed under the indie games area, while others have seen SOE listed under family game area. So my guess is that they might be having some kind of like some like stations that people can play, like maybe Lego Horizon Adventures, maybe,
Maybe.
but I
I
don't
could see that.
know. Oh, it could also be Astrobot. Could be also Astro. I don't know. It says this September. I'm not sure if. Yeah. Okay. It could be Astrobot. No, no, no.
Why not?
Because Tokyo Game Show takes place September 26th. So Astrobot would be out almost a full month.
I
Interesting.
mean, that don't mean
Yes.
everybody gets shit at release.
That's true. That's true. But you would think you would want to like have a well, actually, no. The play session was at the Summer Game Fest. So yeah, I don't know. We'll see what happens here. This is interesting. Uh, number 11. Crazy Taxi reboot, an open world, massively multiplayer AAA game, Sega says. This comes to us from IGN by way of it's loading. Oh, I got a little song playing in my head. What's happening? Why I got this song playing in my head? Who this from? Uh oh. Uh oh.
Wesley and Pool.
Yeah, go ahead. My computer is
So they
rebelling
have
against me.
big ambitions, they being Sega, for the Crazy Taxi reboot. It's described as an open world, massively multiplayer AAA game. What that means? Mm. The game came out originally in arcades in '99 before it was ported onto consoles like the Dreamcast, and I think it came on Xbox. Uh, Crazy Taxi 2, didn't it? Something like that. Whatever.
I think it did. Yeah, I think it did come to Xbox.
Um, they said they mentioned it as a AAA game. It's gonna be a large game. I don't. It's powered by Unreal. I don't see how this is gonna work. I mean, are we gonna just be like the crew or Horizon? Horizon. I don't remember the goddamn name. What the hell's the name of it? Horizon, Forza Horizon.
Forza Horizon. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. We
yeah.
had
Yeah.
open world stuff. Like,
Yeah,
we're just gonna be
I
competing for fares.
so here's my thing. Here's my thing. Like I'm totally agreeing with you in terms of like how will this game work? Like, is it if it's just going to be a like I guess drive to the point with your fare, like you can gamify the damage you're taking, you can gamify like the routes you're taking, all that stuff.
I didn't
Well,
think of adding damage to the cars because the original didn't have damage in it.
it didn't.
Yeah, I guess maybe if you damage your car, okay, I can kind of see
Yeah.
something going on. Maybe you got to keep your car together while getting your passenger,
But
earn money to
but
fix your
but
car. Because I mean, what's the point of the money at this point?
but here's the thing, Sean. Here's the
Mhm.
thing. We are talking about a game that's going to come out post GTA 6.
It will
Like
operate off of nostalgia.
it
I
absolutely
don't.
it has to because there is absolutely no way that GTA 6 is not going to have some kind of taxi mechanic, like a
I mean,
taxi.
they have always had taxi mini games in
Yeah.
GTA, but uh, not multiplayer focused taxi. I don't know. Well,
Yeah. So like it and like we also know that GTA 6 is going to be doing the like or at least the rumors is that they're going to be doing like the like real play kind of role play. No, I'm sorry, role play stuff
hmm
in that game. So I don't know. Like I think I don't know. Also, I've not really been a Crazy Taxi fan, so I don't have
yeah.
that nostalgia kick like I have for like Jet Set Radio kind of thing. But I mean, this could be a cool, fun game if they make it like super vibrant and like just exciting to look at. And then you're also doing this like the actual Crazy Taxi stuff. Like if they add like tricks and stuff to it, that could be pretty cool.
They had like drifting and stuff to like boost your
Yeah.
multipliers in the original one, but I'll have to wait for previews and or reviews before I get excited about this.
Yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. Um, number 12. Final Fantasy 14 is reportedly coming to mobile. This comes
I'm
to us
wondering
from Vicky
if
Play.
this is why they canceled Final Fantasy 11 mobile port because they wanted to focus on
Mm,
this. Maybe this will make
that
them
could be
more
it.
money.
Yeah. Oh,
But
this is also from Eurogamer, by the way.
mm,
Yeah, I mean, essentially, the rumor is that the Final Fantasy 14, the game is coming to mobile. That's pretty much all that is.
yeah,
It's from Xbooter. Yeah, I mean, I feel like phones are powerful enough to do it. So if they can do it, I could bring in more people, especially with the Chinese market, the Asian market. Really,
yeah.
they are all mostly on their phones. So hey, makes sense. And then number 13, it's a Dino Crisis for Capcom as it abandons new Exoprimal content just a year after launch.
Damn.
So I included this because I like the demo that I played of Exoprimal. I didn't
We
buy the
played it
game.
together, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't invest in it, so I can't really be like, oh no, like I'm part of the problem. But
Now,
go
did
ahead.
it abandon new content because people weren't buying, I guess?
Yeah,
Or
that's usually the case. So this comes to us from Westing Pool. This is from IGN. Capcom's co-op dinosaur mech game Exoprimal will not receive any new content. The company has announced just a year after the game came out. The shooter. We don't. That's just talking about the back, but it's launch. So it's not. It's not super surprising that this happened because there really
mm,
hasn't been much talk or news around this game after it launched. And the general consensus was that it's pretty cool, but it's all right. And you know the beauty about it is that I can appreciate Capcom, you know, making these experimental games and just throwing it up and seeing how it does. Like I think the next kind of experimental game we have from Capcom is
mhm.
Pragmata, and we hopefully will see that sometime soon. I
Yeah,
mean,
I hope
Tokyo
that's
Game
not
Show.
canceled.
Yeah, I don't think that's canceled. I think that it's still Capcom's still gonna give it a shot. And like they right now they're pretty much up. I didn't include into our stories, but like Dragon's Dogma has seen like a 59% um uh player count boost or whatever on PlayStation because they did some
Hmm.
update and had a discount or whatever. So like they're doing well. And it's just like, okay, well, cool. Like, not everything's going to do well. And unfortunately, Exo Prime was not one of the games that did well. Um, the also, I guess, silver lining is that I don't think the studio is going to be closed. I should knock on wood. I don't have any wood around me. But
Mm-hmm.
it's the fact that like this is a Japanese studio and they do really well with not shutting down their studios. So I don't know. Hopefully they'll stick around and be able to do something else. But yeah, that is it for the news for today. Before we end this, let us jump into the games we have been playing, which is Zenless Zone Zero and the First Descendant. Sean, which game you want to talk about first?
Let's get ZZZ out the way.
All right. So, as I said at the start of this show, ZZZ is putting one of us to sleep and the other one is enjoying it. Sean, what is your impressions on ZZZ?
Man, I like the game, but it's rough to sit through.
Yeah.
Everything non-combat just feels so slow.
Hmm.
And I try to play it late at
Hmm.
night and it just puts me to sleep.
Hmm.
They need to speed up anything outside of combat, maybe like 30 to 50% as far as like skipping through dialogue and stuff.
Yeah.
I, I don't know. Or like the exploration little mini game where you're cutting through the blocks. It just feels incredibly slow.
Yeah.
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 But
So,
but
uh,
the comboing feels nice when you actually get it down.
yeah, I will say that like I totally understand the complaint in terms of it feels like, oh my god, everything is taking so long to just do. And I just want to get to the combat. I just want to get to the combat. And I think that that is a problem with how they marketed the game
Yeah.
because they marketed the game with being combat focused. And it's just like, oh my god, like I expect to jump in this game and be like given like a short tutorial and just go off and start
Set
cutting
loose. Yeah.
aliens down. Yeah. And it's just like that's not what this game is. And so for me, I've put probably probably like 12 or so hours into the game at this point.
Yeah.
I've been playing a good chunk of it, and like it is very much so like it is almost 50% between combat and like just like almost like cozy game in terms of just like you're doing day-to-day errands and stuff. And
Which is fine, but just
it
it feels so slow. Even the running feels slow
yeah, and
around
it's
town.
like it's one of those things where it's just like, was this the actual intention or was this just a thing that they didn't foresee happening? So there
Yeah.
was there was a like during the public or the closed beta test, a lot of people came out and was upset about the TV system and how
Yeah.
that worked in terms of like this is slowing down combat, this is slowing down combat, we don't want this, we just want combat. So they changed their system to have like you have stories, you have a combat section, then you have exploration section. The exploration section is a majority of TV stuff, combat section is majority combat, story stuff is story stuff. So
Yeah.
that was that was their like olive branch, but it still seems that like the TV stuff is just slowing down everything. And like I agree with you on that in terms of just like, man, I get this system. I think it's a cool way to show like hacking happening, but I think it is over reliant on that system in that like there is one point in the story where you are essentially being told things that are happening in the hollow zone, which is like the world that they're exploring or the space that they're exploring with the monsters. But you're being told this stuff from the screen of the TV system. So it's just like this kind of like I wish I could just see like panels of like what's happening and then being told that way. That would be
Yeah.
great. I don't it like you not being able to see the stuff that's happening, but you're being told from your bamboo or what or I think bamboo, I believe that's yeah. Like that is just like okay, that's annoying. But like I guess for me, I have sort of found a way in my mind to be like, okay, I can see those issues, but like I am just enjoying the stuff that I'm doing so much so that like those issues isn't necessarily a detractor for me. So,
Hmm.
as you all know, I have played geez, tons of Genshin Impact. And this game is not even built off the bones of Genshin Impact. It is modeled after Genshin Impact in terms of how the daily stuff works, how the battle
Yeah.
pass works, how the microtransactions work, how the gotcha pull system works, like all that stuff is based off of Genshin Impact. So if you play that game, you'll have a base on how this game works. I will say that this is modeled after the current version of Genshin Impact, which is I think the one of the best like free to play systems in that like if you keep playing this game, they will give you token stuff to pull for characters and so on and so forth. So you don't have to spend money. Like they are very, very just um what's the word? They they want to they want to make sure that you're having a good time and like you want to invest into this game versus doing things to make you have to spend money in this game, like First
Yeah.
Ascendant. So it is a thing of just like, yeah, I'm right now. I am having a good time with ZZZ. I haven't hit end game stuff, which is always the like, all right, what is the thing that you want me to do every day going forward? Because I'm done with the story. I've done most things. I just need to grind for characters essentially,
Yeah.
but I haven't hit that point yet. So yeah, that's pretty much ZZZ. Of course, that's essentially a review and process because we haven't beat the game.
Yeah.
Do you are you done with the game, or do you think you're going to continue with
No,
it
I'm
and
gonna
just try to
continue to
figure?
play it until
Yeah,
like Wukong comes out or something
yeah,
else, and then maybe sparingly play it. But
yeah, yeah. No,
mm,
I get that. Like, I mean, and that's kind of how these games work in terms of just you jump in, you play for a little bit, and you leave, and you just do something else. So
yeah,
next game is the First Descendant. Um, So we had articles in the game news section about the microtransactions, and I want to talk about that part first and then talk about the actual gameplay stuff.
Yeah.
So, did you get a chance to actually look at the store when you were playing, or were you just kind of
Um, I scrolled through it very quickly, but I
yeah,
mean, I had no intention of buying anything, so it's like
exactly, yeah, yeah,
I'm not gonna be a window shopper. 15 cent ain't
yeah.
gonna call me out.
So yeah, so first ascendant, the the microtransactions in this game is they're very annoying
Hmm.
when I am bouncing back and forth between this and Zone Zero. It's like I okay, I want to target this one character, the bubble girl. She's cool. I want to play as her character. And it's like, all right, you need to first get to this zone. Of course, I could just pay money and buy her. But
Yeah,
you need to get to this zone, which requires you playing the story, which is fine. I'm okay with that. And then in order to unlock any character, you need their blueprint, and then you need four materials that are a low percentage drop rate to get them in these specific operation stages that you play.
yeah,
So in order to get the character, you have to be extremely lucky, and you have to sit there and play these things over and over and over again, and you're not guaranteed to actually get the parts to build the character. And then once you actually get these parts to build the character, it takes like,
money.
I think it's like, not, yeah, it takes actual like in-game currency that's not like MTX currency. It's just like currency that you build up in the game. But then it also takes like 2 or 3 days, maybe 4 days, for the character to actually be built in the game. You don't actually get the character once you put the stuff together. They have to build the actual character. And it's just like, I spend like a week to get these parts, then I have to spend another like 3 or 4 days to actually get the character to play the character. By the time I get to that point, I am playing Black what Black Myth Wukong. Like, I
Yeah,
am playing that game. So it's just like, okay, man, like, yeah, this, I hope, like I said in the news section, I hope this is the worst version of the first Ascendant that we have. I hope it only gets better in the
yeah,
future. I hope they realize that some of this stuff does not need to be this long. Like, the fact that anything you research, anything you build takes real time, real human days, and it's just like, or you human time, and it's just like, oh my god, so annoying. But that's that. Let's talk about the gameplay. I did a bunch of talking. Sean, what is your impressions of the first Ascendant gameplay?
so this is easier to just jump into the action and something always be happening. I like that you can fast travel. There's no portion of like the hub world that you need to get to dip out into the field to get into the action. You can fast travel seemingly from anywhere in the game. They have points that they drop you at to fast travel too, but it doesn't
Yeah,
matter where you're at. You can just hit up on the D-pad, boom, you're there. There is a lot of menu to navigate because if you hit the touchpad, there's a menu. If you hit the start button, that's a completely different menu with different tabs. They both have
yeah,
different a bunch of tabs. It's a lot to navigate through, but other than that, um, oh, give me a second.
uh,
Other than that, it feels solid. The shooting feels solid, and I don't know. What's the max player count on your team? Is it 3 or 4?
it's 4.
Was it 3 in the beta?
No, I think it was 4. It was just 3 of us.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah,
I would give this a try if it looks interesting to you at all. You know, in any way. Um, I don't know. I got nothing.
yeah. So I mean, I'm pretty much along the same lines as you. I think the shooting of the game feels pretty good. I had to, of course, because I am who I am. I had to tweak my settings. because the base settings of the game was just like, I don't know who the fuck thought any of this was a good idea. Like the mouse cursor is just too much. Like there's no slowdown to when you ADS, and I'm just like,
I feel like the
I
aiming
am,
was too slow.
huh?
I felt like the aiming was too slow for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it had
Oh,
the
yeah.
ultra
Like
sensitivity.
I literally had, and this is, I'm looking at this as a big positive for the first Ascendant, like where
Mhm.
I jumped into the options and I was like, all right, I need to drop the sensitivity down a bit. I need to change the sensitivity of when I ADS, and it gave me all these like options and stuff, and I was able to craft I was able to change the settings to the way that I want the game to play. And like
Mm.
I think that is awesome because I honestly didn't think that I was going to be able to do that, and I was able to do that. So in terms of the like actual gameplay and like the meat and potatoes of the game, I think it is a solid shooter. Like you point the gun, you shoot, things happen. There's a bunch there's a bunch of numbers and stats that you can really dig into to like build out those loadouts to be like, oh, this is my poison build, this is my fire build, this is my ice build, and you have like these descendants that kind of work with those elements. So all that is cool. To go along again to what you're saying, Sean, is that like there is a weird like mindlessness to the game that,
I don't mind it.
yeah, I don't mind it right now, but
Mhm.
I can see it becoming more of like, all right, what am I doing here? I'm just shooting this person. Okay, I shoot the person. Did I get anything? I didn't get anything. All right, let
This
me
is
go
a
shoot this other
mindless
person.
game to have fun with your friends,
Yes,
and
yeah,
if
and I
you wanna
think
put money into it, fine.
Yeah, and I think that's where that's where the buck stops, where it's like I can totally see myself playing the game, playing the story,
Mhm.
being done with the story, and then jumping in when you guys jump in and just like playing it that way
Yeah.
versus like dedicating like how I dedicated hours and hours of my life to like a Destiny where I'm just like, I'm playing this by myself. I'll play with random people or whatever. It's like
Mm.
I don't know if for me there is a draw outside playing it with you guys. And again, like that's fine. Like this is a free
Yeah.
to play thing where it's like they already have me. The game is downloaded to my console. I'm already playing this game. I'm spending the time. I'm one of those figures that they put up.
Did
So
Destiny allow, strangers to drop in to help you on your missions?
yeah, the system of so yes and no, because the way that Destiny's like missions, the
Mm,
open world missions, was that some of the missions take place in the open world, and there people can jump in and help you.
yeah.
But some of the missions require you like
Oh,
it
if it
creates an
brought you into an
instance.
instance? Okay.
Yeah, and I think in those instances, actually no, I think in those instances people can join your instance. I don't know,
So
maybe
so it seems like the first Descendant has, the same sort of system because in the open world, people could just walk by and just
help. Yeah,
assist you, with whatever, but then they also have instanced what the hell are those bosses? They have instance bosses, but
yeah.
if you have it on a like public setting, then it'll just throw people in there who are also trying to do it. So
Yeah, yeah. Like I feel like I think the best part of the first sentence is that they literally had a giant checkbox of like we
hmm
need to make sure it does this, 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 and this, and they checked off every last box, and it's just like this is great. Like from out of the gate, you can have those kind of boss rush kind of games with a private party, with a public
yeah,
party. Like it allows you, it's super flexible in terms of how you want to play the game. It is the thing of like, okay, we have all these systems built up. How do we keep the people coming? Hmm, oh, did he? How do we keep the people coming back to this game? And I think that for me will be the thing of like, okay, well, I'll sit with this game. I'll see where they're at. Like, are they doing like this? I honestly, it should be the story, but I don't even know what's happening in that story. There's a guy that only you can see, and like There's Iron Hearts, but not the Overwatch Iron Heart. I don't know, man. There's stuff happening. I'm just like, all right, who am I shooting? Just let me know who I'm shooting, and I'll shoot that person. So yeah. So yeah, so that is it for the for Ascendant. Of course, we're gonna still be playing that game. So I guess there's also a reviewing process. Once we get that game beat and story mode beat, I guess, and what the end game looks like, we'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's been it for the podcast. That's been it for Press X Start Gamers Digest. We hope you enjoyed this episode as much as we enjoyed making it. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. If you are listening, you're not looking at me, look at you. Fine. Leave us a review on whatever podcast service you're currently using so we know. Actually, let us know that you left a review on whatever podcast service that you're using so we can see your review. We won't grill you. Maybe. Maybe not. I don't know. So yeah, that's been it. You take care, you be safe, you keep playing video games, and stay cool. Because outside it is super hot.
Smoking.
Like you.
No.
All right, bye.
Doobie 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 doop boop boop boop. Upload your stuff, DJ. Upload your stuff.
I'm gonna do that right now.
Let me go play some First Ascendant. My friend's not here.
Yeah, I'll jump on too.
Who the hell called? Oh, yep. Just knock it all over. Just knock it all over. Who called me Tesla? Oh. Damn.